Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Daughtery.
It's been an interesting and bumpy couple of weeks. I attended the Economic Forum and the Legislative Breakfast sponsored by the Chamber, and it was very informative. And I applaud the Chamber for sponsoring those. The Sam's Club celebrated their grand opening, and that was enlightening to me to go to that, to meet some of the staff there. They have gone in and added a bakery, they've added a pharmacy, they've added a lot of different things to Sam's Club. And the most surprising thing of that was that Sam's has been open for 20 years. And it's just amazing to imagine that 20 years Sam's been here. Things are flying by. We all enjoyed the joint meetings with Mount Olive, Fremont, Eureka, and Seven Springs. These towns are facing some serious problems. And I'm hoping that the county can help find some of those solutions. One of the overriding things that I was shocked to hear is the loss of residents in those particular towns. They are shrinking in their populations, and that's got to be turned if they're going to sustain. We all have read and see that Blue Cross and Wayne Memorial have some issues. Blue Cross has pulled away from the negotiating table and has in fact notified Wayne Memorial that as of December the 5th, they will be canceling that contract. That contract has been canceled. I want to state today that a lot of this is a result of renegotiating a contract between Blue Cross and Wayne Memorial. And it is a direct result of Obamacare and the effects of Obamacare going forward. And our insurance providers are in a very difficult situation. They're having to negotiate their position now to sustain themselves going forward. And at the same time, Wayne Memorial has to make sure that they can sustain themselves. Those negotiations have gone on for some time, for over a year, and at this point, Wayne Memorial offered some additional concessions, and Blue Cross decided just to pull out of negotiations. Now, I say all that to say that we're hoping this is going to be resolved. I equate this to the negotiations between Time Warner and CBS. I mean, you all hear that almost every few years, where they enter into negotiations and one side or the other plays hardball. And I think that's what's happening. We can all hope that over the next few months that those matters would be resolved. I'll keep you informed. And finally, I feel like I need to address the events relating to our last work session on literacy connections. I am sorry if I appeared to be insensitive or harsh in any way with my questioning of Director Pat Yates. Some would have me simply approve any request for funding and quit asking some hard questions. That's just not me, I'm sorry. It really would be easy not to press to get the facts. There is no disrespect intended in these questions. Many taxpayers take issue with the fact that government is taxing citizens and then deciding to distribute those tax dollars to nonprofit organizations. Literacy Connections is not a department of Wayne County government. It has a laudable mission and provides a great service to our community. But it is not a county agency. It has its separate charter, its policies, and its own board of directors. Wayne County simply takes some of your tax dollars and donates it to Literacy Connections. A little history here. In the past 4 years, that donation has grown from $5,700, $5,700, to over $122,000 that was allocated in this year's budget. So that's $5,700 all the way to $122,000. Mrs. Yates is asking that that donation of tax dollars be for an additional $27,000 for a grand total of $149,000. To put things into perspective, this year's new budget has reduced disbursements to nonprofits from $1.7 million to $850,000, almost half. Yet Literacy Connections was increased from $112,000 to $122,000. So I think we do need to keep things in perspective. There has to be some limits on the amount of tax dollars transferred to nonprofits. Has to be some limits. The taxpayers cannot be the primary source of funding of nonprofits, no matter how laudable their mission. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Daughtery. Mr. Bell.